How we doing, guys? My name's Tyler. We all know and love the internet. We use it constantly throughout our daily lives, whether we're watching a YouTube video, we're browsing social media, we're Googling a recipe for dinner, or a quick point, to win an argument or something like that. It's become like a very essential tool in the lives of almost everyone on Earth, pretty much. With that being said, there is definitely like a darker side to the internet as a whole. Whether it's a mysterious website, a Reddit post, a 4chan post, something like that, or data that has like next to no explanation. It can get pretty dark and pretty bizarre pretty quickly, no matter really where you're at. With that being said, I thought it would be kind of fun to sit down and then we can go through some of the most infamous, mysteries that have popped up throughout the internet. Cicada 3301. You might have heard about it. I'm assuming you probably have. It's one of the most talked about internet mysteries. Like pretty much whenever you talk about internet mysteries, somebody will always bring up Cicada. Cicada is a really interesting one. It came from a Reddit post back in 2012, which is over 12 years ago now. The origin of this kind of scavenger hunt, we'll call it, has been debated for a long time. Nobody really knows who they were, but it all stems from a Reddit post that claimed to be looking for highly intelligent individuals. And from there, it turned into this giant scavenger hunt all around the world. It went from just online using cryptography and stuff like that to even in-person places. And the origin and who's behind this has never really been figured out, but there's always been theories that it could be the FBI or CIA or one of those three-letter organizations trying to recruit people, or it could be anonymous or some kind of shadow government or something like that. But none of that's really been confirmed. So even though the true origin of it has never been figured out or confirmed, we're still able to kind of look at it with a little bit of wonder, because it is kind of an interesting concept, The original post was worded, and I quote, "Hello, we are looking for highly intelligent individuals. To find them, we have devised a test. There's a message hidden in the image. Find it, and it will lead you on the road to finding us. We look forward to meeting the few who will make it all the way through. Good luck." And then it kind of shows this image here. Initially, a lot of people kind of looked at this with a good amount of skepticism, as you would. They didn't think much of it. Some people thought it was a troll or something like that. But those that did kind of look into it and take interest into it, they were led down a rabbit hole like not much else had been seen at the time. Eventually, it took hold of a large amount of the internet with elaborate puzzles that kind of led down different rabbit holes, and it involved cryptography, programming, even having to go to real life places. So it's definitely kind of more of a fascinating kind of thing that happened, especially at the time. It is important to note that it's probably kind of an ARG or alternate reality game, and this is one of the first instances of something like that we've seen, of which there's tons now. But Cicada was one of the first, if not the first. Pretty sure it's not the first, but it's one of the first for sure. Some of the puzzles that Cicada kind of pushed through people through, the complexity of them, the organized nature, and the amount of money seemingly spent to run this kind of thing suggests an actual organization. Not an internet troll just making a post out there, kind of leading people astray. Adding credence to the potential claim that it could be a government organization or anonymous or, something kind of along those lines. And so the medians, included, were by telephone, original music, bootable Linux CDs, digital images, physical paper signs, and pages of unpublished, like, cryptic books, like books that not many people would know about. After a few of these puzzles had been initially solved, participants were met with a message that read, "Very good. You've done well. There are 3 prime numbers associated with the original final .jpg image. 3301 is one of them. You will have to find the other 2. Multiply all 3 of these numbers together and add a .com to find the next step. Good luck. Goodbye." So, after doing the math, users reached a URL that revealed a series of GPS locations to multiple different locations around the world, such as Australia, Spain, Russia, Japan, France, Poland, all seemingly appearing at generally the same time. At the locations, people would find a poster posted on a telephone post with a QR code on it. When scanning the code, users would find 2 images with hidden text, and eventually that would lead users to a website hosted on the Tor browser, which, if you know anything about the Tor browser, it's like, you've probably heard of the deep web or the dark web. That's generally how you access it, using the Tor browser, which, I mean, I could go into what that is a little bit, but that's kind of irrelevant. Essentially, it took people to the dark web, which would be the last stop for a lot of these riddles. Cicada 3301 had seemingly figured out that people were collaborating internationally to solve a lot of these puzzles, so only the fastest to reach this point would be allowed to continue. The text on the website would eventually be changed to, "We want the best, not the followers." And then Cicada was over for that year. Most people at that time thought that was it. However, Cicada did appear 2 more times since then, with the most recent confirmed communication from whoever is behind this being all the way back in 2017. I've heard, like, some people are holding out hope that they come back or something like that, so that we could really get to the bottom of this and figure it out. But not too much will likely come from that. However, allegedly, because this is hard to confirm, one of the winners of the 2012 game, the original one, had leaked an email from Cicada, or whoever is behind Cicada, that reads, and I quote, "You have all wondered who we are, and so we shall now tell you. We are an international group. We have no name, we have no symbol, and we have no membership rosters. We do not have a public website, and we do not advertise ourselves. We are a group of individuals who have proven ourselves much like you have. By completing this recruitment contest, we are drawn together by common beliefs." A careful reading of the text used in the contest would have revealed some of these beliefs: that tyranny and oppression of any kind must end, that censorship is wrong, and that privacy is an inalienable right. However, this is only half reliable, and it's pretty difficult to confirm, so not too much really ever came from this. So, I draw your own conclusions. Cicada had caught the attention of many people, including myself, all the way back then. Well, not really all the way back then, but a little bit after that. Like 2015, I think, is when I first had, like, heard about it. Could be, you know, some sort of organization, could be, you know, who knows what it could be. We really don't know. So I'd say draw your own conclusions. Doesn't really matter. Maybe someday we'll hear something else from the group that's behind this, but as of now, we really don't have much more information than that. So the next kind of mystery that I want to talk about is a really weird website titled 973 at namuh 973. It's a really weird website with seemingly religious messaging and cryptic imagery. The website speaks a lot on Christianity and Christian conspiracy theories. And it's definitely one of the weirder kind of places you can end up, especially on like the surface web, without kind of diving deeper into like the dark web. Originally, the website probably did start as an art kind of project, you know what I mean? Owned by an artist out of the United Kingdom. That's where the website is originally registered to a man named David Denizen. The website's really weird with a lot of different pages and different links, even within like single letters of single words, tending to lead you down like this infinite rabbit hole. There's even a forum you can find on the website where people are very convincing and cryptic. It's overall a very cryptic kind of environment, with a lot of credibility that now it could be ran by a really weird religious sect or a cult or some kind of new age religion or some kind of something like that. The website kind of goes on forever and ever and ever with not much of an end. Some articles estimate that there could be over 100,000 pages throughout the website, with just as many links directing you throughout. A lot of what you'll find on the website are weird numerical values, cryptic sentences and words relating to, the Christian ideas of God. A lot of this art was made by that David guy out of the United Kingdom. The number 9 seems to be central for the website. And many people have kind of become obsessed with this website or fallen into its rabbit hole, or potentially even been recruited by whatever cult seemingly runs the website. David, as we mentioned, he's an artist from the United Kingdom, and that's who the website is registered to. However, David passed away in 2014. And the website's still growing with new pages being added, hundreds of new pages being added throughout the last couple years. So that kind of really tells us that David is no longer the one behind the website, even if he was at one point. A lot of the information that I'm kind of getting for this is from another YouTuber called Elder's Vault, who kind of has done a couple deep dives into this website. And so I'm going to link his channel down in the description, and specifically one of the main videos that I kind of used as a source for this. And he was actually able to get in contact through the forum on the website with one of the administrators. And he explained that at its core, the website is an illustration of their group's belief, and that it's a slight glimpse into God and how God only exists through numbers and equations, and that God is essentially math. So it's definitely kind of a weirder kind of belief system, I guess you could call it, really adding to the cryptic mystery and the creepiness behind this website, because this website is definitely strange. In conclusion, it's probably a religious group or a cult nowadays, but the true extent and how deep this rabbit hole really goes, just with how seemingly infinitely vast this website seems to be, we'll likely never know the full extent of what's really going on. So again, big thanks to Elder Vault for his superb video, which I'm going to link down in the description. that's where I got a lot of the information for this segment. Because it's if I were going through and looking through this website, I likely would not have found much of anything. So definitely go check out his video and his channel. Because yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do this segment without his videos. So that's 973 at namuh. The next segment's a little bit less like creepy or anything like that. It's more about just the mystery itself. You've probably heard of Bitcoin. It's one of the most popular cryptocurrencies. It was the first, I'm pretty sure it was the first, if not one of the first. It was created in 2009. So Satoshi Nakamoto is the name credited in the white pages for the founder, or the white paper for the founder of Bitcoin. Whoever created it used what we believe is an alias of Satoshi Nakamoto. However, no real world identity, except for one guy who pretty sure it's not him. It doesn't really kind of fit at all. No real world identity has ever been like correlated between the name and someone who potentially could be the founder. In September of 2009, Nakamoto created the first ever online messaging forum dedicated to cryptocurrency. In a post, Nakamoto wrote, "I've developed a new open source P2P e-cash system called Bitcoin. It's completely decentralized with no central server or trusted parties because everything is based on crypto proof instead of trust," which is kind of how like current banks work and stuff like that. Give it a try or take a look at the screenshots and design paper. Today, Bitcoin is by far the largest cryptocurrency by market cap. Last confirmed communication from Nakamoto was in 2011, where in an email he had explained he is moving on to other projects. In 2014, Nakamoto allegedly posted, "I am not Dorian Nakamoto," who I was talking about before, a Japanese-American physician who was named creator of Bitcoin by Newsweek. Since this, there's been no communication from Nakamoto. Some noted information about Nakamoto, first using timestamps on Nakamoto's posts and emails. It's assumed that Nakamoto probably resided either in the UK, the East Coast of the US, or the West Coast when posting about the cryptocurrency. Second, Nakamoto was known to use the British Commonwealth spelling of certain words like favor, with an added U rather than the American favor without the U, just OR. For this reason, it's added a lot of credence to the United Kingdom claim. Or at the very least, he was educated in the United Kingdom. Third, given the amount of Bitcoin traced to wallets presumably owned by Satoshi Nakamoto, Nakamoto is most certainly a billionaire, although none of that Bitcoin has ever been removed or sent out to any other wallets, because you can track this kind of stuff. That's part of the beauty of cryptocurrency in general, which is weird. Like, that's really weird. If I created something like Bitcoin, I'd be spending that money for sure. Newsweek magazine revealed in a March 2014 article that Satoshi Nakamoto's real name was Dorian Satoshi Nakamoto, and that he was an out-of-work Japanese-American physicist living in California, which is what I was talking about before. Nakamoto quickly denied the claim. He responded to the Newsweek article by saying the magazine story had been the source of a great deal of confusion and stress for himself and his family. The guy that they are accusing of being the creator of Bitcoin. And then the actual Satoshi Nakamoto had responded with that Twitter post, removing credibility from this, mostly. He also said, "I did not create, invent, or otherwise work on Bitcoin. I unconditionally deny the Newsweek report." However, there's a lot of people that still don't believe him and think that he is actually the Satoshi Nakamoto. Apparently, this Nakamoto had been unemployed for over a decade and hadn't had internet access since 2013, when he shut it off due to his inability to pay the bill. He said that he'd never even heard of Bitcoin until his son mentioned it the following year after being contacted by a reporter. Nakamoto then started a fundraising page for a lawsuit against the magazine. Nakamoto's identity will probably remain unknown forever, especially with the fact that his Bitcoin has never been moved or anything like that. Probably doesn't want to be found, and so we probably will never find him. So kind of sticking with our theme of ARGs, or alternate reality games, I thought the next best kind of thing to talk about would be A858. Also known as this really long name, like A858DE45F56D9BC9. It was a subreddit that gained popularity for its really weird and cryptic messages. It was created in 2011, and it consisted of posts that were either in hexadecimal format or like a cipher, or encoded messages or something like that. Numerous like internet sleuths or cryptographers, all kind of people from a lot of different walks of life, attempted to decipher these messages, but not much ever really came out of that. A lot of theories about this kind of came around. One of the leading ones is that it was kind of like spy towers, or number towers during like the Cold War, which is where they would send like encoded messages and numbers and stuff like that between these towers, and it was a way for spies to communicate, or that it's like an elaborate ARG, alternate reality game. Over time, the subreddit kind of gained traction and popularity, with users collaborating to try and decipher the messages. However, not many people were ever very successful in that endeavor. The moderator of the subreddit would occasionally interact with the community, but provided next to no information to try and like decipher, to help like decipher the messages or add any context or anything. So it only added to the mystery of everything, you know what I mean? In 2015, however, the moderator made an announcement regarding the end of the subreddit, to the dismay of many like participants, I guess we could say. Since then, A858 has remained mostly inactive, with its true purpose and the message behind the posts remaining elusive. So not too much will probably ever come from this. We probably won't get much more context or anything like that besides what we have. But it was a really weird subreddit that had a lot of numbers and seemingly coded messages that made next to no sense. So yeah, that's A858. So I kind of thought I'd take a moment to kind of just talk to you guys directly. This is probably our first time meeting, I'm assuming. My name's Tyler. This is my first video in a little over 4 years. I'm sure if you go back, you'll find some of my old ones. I did like an Apple Watch review, and then commentary on some copyright shit that was happening with YouTube. That was when I was 16, I think, right around there, something like that. But I kind of want to do this again, kind of as like a hobby, or maybe see later on if maybe I could turn this into a job. Because I've always kind of had a passion for creating kind of content and stuff like this. So I hope you're having like a great day, and if you aren't, I hope that this video kind of helps bring you up a little bit, or helps you get through whatever it is you're going through. Be sure like subscribe if you like kind of what I'm doing or my format or anything like that. Let me know any feedback or video ideas or anything like that you might have down in the comments. Plan on doing this. I won't be uploading like weekly, or I might do bi-weekly, but I'm kind of leaning towards monthly, because I'm a college student full-time right now, on top of like rent, but I work as well, like on top of going to college and kind of just doing what I gotta do. This is kind of something fun that I enjoy doing, and so I really hope to do it more. I hope I have more time to do this more. And it's kind of like a dream of mine to maybe possibly do this full time at some point. So by watching this video right now and making it this far in, you're kind of helping me with that goal, like inch by inch, Thank you for kind of listening to my spiel. Back to the video. So the last kind of topic that we're kind of going to talk about today is known as the Markovian parallax denigrate. You've probably heard of it. It's regarded as one of the internet's oldest and first mystery, and one of the first great puzzles on the internet, similar to kind of Cicada 3301. This goes all the way back to 1996, where it was just random like ramblings and these different messaging boards, mostly like news groups and stuff like that, with a lot of the messages having the subject line, the Markovian parallax denigrate. Internet spam back then was already a thing, obviously. So many people rightfully assumed that the strange posts were just spam, a lot of the posts even being deleted throughout the years. The words could be like secret code, and that's kind of what the leading theory is that it was secret code similar to like A858, where it was kind of like the Cold War number towers and stuff like that. But nobody's ever been able to decipher anything from any of these posts. Nothing has ever come from it. And it's not like the A858, where it was like hexadecimal, as well as kind of word salads and stuff like that. It's just random words being jumbled together, talking about a lot of them having the Markovian parallax denigrate as the subject line. The messages mean next to nothing, at surface level at least. I guess they could technically be code, but from everything that I've kind of looked into, and a lot of my information for this comes from Barely Sociable's video on the subject, which I'm also going to link down in the description. It's probably not. Another like kind of popular theory for the Markovian parallax denigrate is that it could be related to like chatbots, due to Markovian being related to a calculation process known as a Markov chain, which is used to program chatbots and stuff like that. There was kind of a theory that Susan Lindauer, who was an alleged spy, was connected to the messages due to her name being in the from section of the remaining messages. However, she denied all credibility, and a lot of where this comes from is from an article kind of diving into this mystery, written by a man named Kevin Morris. And even in his own article, he kind of debunks that a little bit at the very end, where he kind of breaks all relation from Susan Lindauer due to the from line being from University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point, or UWSP. Not too much information on this. It's probably spam, and that's what Kevin Morris concluded in his own article as well, is that it's likely spam, and likely means next to nothing. even if it's not, the mystery will likely be lost forever. Like, if there is a meaning behind it, we're probably never going to know what that meaning could be, or, you know, what it was meant to be. Probably because it's likely just spam. I don't know. I'd say draw your own conclusions. Check out Barely Sociable's video. It was kind of a huge help in this segment, similar to the last segment talking about the 973 at namuh. Definitely check out that video if you're interested in this subject at all, because he did a phenomenal job kind of covering this and adding context, and he kind of goes through it and dives through it as well, and he comes to the conclusion as well that it's likely just spam. But yeah, that's the Markovian parallax denigrate, the oldest mystery on the internet. I had to talk about it in here, at least in some shape or form. Alright guys, that's the end of the video today. I do want to say thank you for watching, especially if you've made it this far in the video. Thank you so much, because watch time, I'm pretty sure, still correlates to the algorithm and will help push my video out there a little bit more. Again, kind of would love to maybe do this full time eventually in the future, but for now, I mean, it's just a hobby, something that I enjoy doing. I learned how to video edit in high school and even before high school, so kind of thought I'd use some of these skills, and I've got like the equipment and everything, so might as well, you know, use it. Again, planning on shooting for monthly uploads. I might miss it here and there just because of, you know, busy life and everything like that. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure that you like, subscribe. Really helps the channel out a lot. Really helps me kind of, you know, inch closer to that, you know, inevitable, or not inevitable, but kind of helps me inch closer towards that, you know, distant goal that maybe this could be something that I do for a living. I'm also trying to get back into Twitch streaming, so I play some games there every once in a while. I'll have that link down in the description, as well as my Instagram, maybe my Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, but I don't use that very often, so probably I'll link it anyways, might as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This was fun to make. I really enjoyed this. It's fun to be doing this again. So, yeah, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.